All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks to Ron Shiro. We're at the Beaver Falls Order of the Owls. This is Jim Equals. Tomorrow night we'll be at Jimmy K's, not only talking all sorts of great stuff, but we're going to talk boxing with Bernie Vukovic. The Andre Ward-Sergey Kovalev fight is coming up on HBO pay-per-view this weekend, so a busy night tomorrow. But we begin talking about the Beaver County Hall of Fame. As I mentioned, Ron Shiro is going in there. Sam Adams, a longtime official, is going in as well. Linwood Alford from Aliquippa Football. Bill Edwards from New Brighton. Also Chris Griffin, Rochester, went on to play with the Kansas City Chiefs. Sean Holman, Ambridge Baseball. Sherman Hostetter Jr., great golfer out of Blackhawk. Jack Lynn Jr., Freedom, of course, football. Andy Nuzzo, Midland sports journalist. Ronnie, as I mentioned, Shiro, and also Billy Vinovich Jr. in Midland. And I found out relative actually was officiating in the Super Bowl this past year. So a lot of deep history there as well, too. Your thoughts about the class going in this year, 2017. They will be enshrined with a dinner at the Fez in Hopewell.
Really just a great class this year. I've been on the committee for about 10 years now, and really just, really proud of the class we chose this year. It was, a lot of qualified candidates, and I think we really picked a great group of 10 this year. Of course, led by Coach Shiro, but Andy Nuzzo, obviously I worked with him for a lot of years. Very, very proud that he's going to be going in. But again, it's such a wonderful weekend. We do a thing on Saturday night where we get all the inductees together and just the inductees and their spouses and the committee, and we just kind of have a little mixer the night before. It's a really nice evening, and that's actually my favorite part of the weekend. And I think a lot of the inductees usually say the same thing, that that's really a nice evening. But obviously the Sunday night banquet is just a huge thing. We have Chris Shovelin as our master of ceremonies, and Chris just does a great job. He's one of the best in the business up there, and we usually get 500-600 people there. And it's always a great evening.
Now listen, only because it's the way I'm built, I have to ask. What about a player like Essex Law? When's that going to happen?
I know he's been on the ballot before, and we have a committee of 15 of us, and so it just always comes down to the votes. All the votes, we vote for them 10 to 1. 10. Your number one choice gets 10 points. Your number 10 on your list gets 1. So I know he gets on the list every year, and he gets voted for every year. A lot of times it comes down to points. And that's what happens to a lot of people. People ask that about a lot of candidates, and a lot of times they get on everybody's ballot, but just sometimes it comes down to the points.
Okay, now back to high school football. We talked about Ronnie, of course, against Steel Valley this week. The other game in 2A is Washington and Neshannock. One thing I know about Neshannock, they put up a lot of points.
They do. Their quarterback, Frank Antoine, I saw him last year against Rochester. I saw him, I'm trying to think who I saw him against the playoffs. Off the top of my head, I can't recall, but he's the real deal. He's going to Robert Morris as a linebacker, but he's a great quarterback as well.
All right, 1A, high-flying Clareton and Northgate.
That's going to be Clareton.
Yeah.
That's going to be a Mercy Rule probably.
And really, it's kind of almost setting up so it's going to be Rochester-Clareton, but Rochester still undefeated. Imani Christian, they came off of that win in the quarterfinals, taking on Jeanette.
That's going to be Rochester's got quite a challenge this week. I think they are the better team. I think Rochester is the better team. But it's going to be quite the challenge. But obviously Clareton's going to get through on the other side. So, I think Rochester really stands a good chance.
All right, listen, I got to tell you, one of the things that I've always wanted to have is a Beaver Falls Tiger letter jacket, orange and black. I love the orange and black, but they're taking on the Quips, so I'm just going to say it'll be a great game. Aliquippa's won a lot. It'd be nice to see Beaver Falls get one. It will be championship action at Heinz Field, the 11 a.m. game in 3A, seen on Root Sports, Aliquippa, Beaver Falls. What do you think?
It's really tough to pick against the Quips. But I'm going to. I think Beaver Falls is just on a roll. They got Malik Shepard back, and they're a completely different team now with him back. Kind of run that spread offense. But again, it's really tough to pick against the Quips, especially in a championship game. But I think this is going to be Beaver Falls here.
All right, 2 p.m., the 5A game, Root Sports, McKeesport, West A. How do you even think about going against Bobby Powell?
A tremendous coach. I mean, he's going to be, should
he does more with less than any coach.
What's amazing these last few years, historically, he's had a lot of stud players. A lot of the best players in Whitfield history have come through his program, but not recently. And I would venture to say these last 3 or 4 years, have been some of his best teams because they've been just that. They've been teams. And so if he wins on Friday, he's going to have the most WPIAL championships of any coach in history, and I do think they're going to win that game.
I should have had the professional interview Ronnie Shiro. This guy is the best. I've known him since he was a kid, and he's just good. All right, here we go. Billy Chirpak, 4A, Thomas Jefferson, and Newcastle. And I got to tell you, Lindy Lauro, I love Newcastle, but I've had a long relationship with Billy Chirpak. This is going to be one for the ages, but it's old school with a new rule, meaning Thomas Jefferson, who's been in the headlines in years, but they, of course, come from a new part of the world, the suburbs that, well, it's not like the towns that we grew up in, those Ohio River towns or those mill towns, those industrial towns with Main Street, and that's what Newcastle is. This is going to be a great matchup, blending two wonderful communities.
Yeah, it is nice to see Newcastle get back to the championship and really be a player on that stage. I saw them at the start of the year against Aliquippa, and the Quips really kind of rolled over them. But then, just like Beaver Falls, Newcastle just got better and better as the season went on. Made a few switches in the back, moved Hooker into the backfield, and that paid dividends. I don't know if they can beat Thomas Jefferson, but again, I do think that's going to be a big game.
By the way, these two games, the one that I just mentioned, TJ and Newcastle, and Central Catholic and Seneca Valley, with my friend Stevie Campos, an assistant coach up there, I just found out they're going to be on tape delay, and they're going to be seen after the Penguins Islanders game on Root Sports. What about Central Catholic and Seneca Valley? I still can't believe they beat NA or Walker Jr. What a run they've had. Congratulations. But it's going to take a monumental effort to beat Terry Totten and the Central Catholic Vikings.
It really is, and I'm really happy for Dave Vestal, obviously the former Hopewell coach. I'm very happy for Pat Tarquinio. A lot of people overlook the fact that he's an assistant coach out there at Seneca Valley, and so it's really a great thing that they've done out there. Can they beat Central Catholic? Obviously we saw, you look at Pitt last week with Clemson, anything could happen in any given day, but they're going to need a lot to go right to beat Central Catholic.
All right, to the ice, like I'm chewing to stop coughing, ladies and gentlemen. Barry Trotz, his lineup, of course, has been bounced around a little bit of late because they've been struggling. They've lost 3 out of 4 coming off of a loss to Columbus. But TJ Oshie, Nicholas Backstrom, Marcus Johansson, Jay Beagle, Alexander Ovechkin, one of my favorites, the high-flying Russian, the Pens with guys like Hagelin and Benino and Kessel, and Malcolm has been on a roll, 10.6 goals, and you've got Sidney Crosby, 7 out of 9 games he's got goals. This game being played as we speak. They're watching it here, enjoying a couple ice-cold light beers, of course, here at the beautiful Owls in Beaver Falls. That's going to be a great matchup tonight. But the Penguins, obviously, I think they want to go wire to wire.
Yeah, I think they do. And obviously, this is one of their biggest rivals, and it's one of the better rivalries in hockey. I think last year these were probably, at least during the regular season, the 2 best teams. And the Penguins knocked them out in the playoffs. But yeah, I really think that they beat them to start the season. I really think that the Penguins, I think they can go wire.
Listen, there's no chili dogs at the Brighton Hot Dog Shop tonight because Terry Francona was elected the American League Manager of the Year. Just kidding. We could still get you one here in Beaver Falls. Good for him.
It really is. It's just a tremendous job that he did this year. And you hate to say it was unexpected, but maybe it was unexpected for what Cleveland did, but not for the fact that Terry did it. He's a tremendous manager. And obviously, we know him. He's a tremendous person. So.
All right, now listen. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk Pitt Duke at Jimmy K's. We're going to go down some of the top teams in college football. We're also going to talk about the great year of Penn State that will continue against Rutgers, WV, and Oklahoma. We're going to talk Pittsburgh and Cleveland. But I want to talk about the NBA right now, okay? I love LeBron James, and I love the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Indiana hosting them tonight at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse, Eastern Conference, 2 teams going at it. Last February, that was the first time the Cavs beat Indiana, the Pacers in Indiana, since 2012. Indiana's got a legendary name as their coach, Nate McMillan. The Cavs beat Toronto 121-117. They're 9-1. That happened last night. They're just a half game as far as best record behind the LA Clippers in the NBA. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Golden State, obviously, another team to be looking at that could possibly give them trouble. I do believe, though, LeBron James is in the midst of a dynasty with Cleveland.
I think so.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a difference maker. You've seen what he did. Obviously, Miami was a very good team down there, but he made the difference. He came back to Cleveland, and Cleveland was marginal before he arrived. he took him to a championship. He's a difference maker. He's like Mario Lemieux was with the Penguins. He's just a difference maker once he gets on the floor with them.
Listen, back to the high school thing, and then we'll say goodnight and thank our host, Ronnie Shiro, and everyone here at the Beaver Falls Owls. It was a true honor to come here tonight. I've never been fortunate to come here before, and it's always one of those clubs that in the back of my mind I wanted to stop in and have a nice cold beer and talk a little sports, and I'm very honored that I had the chance to do it tonight. But for everything that is high school sports, right up the road, Bob Barrickman, the legend, WBVP, WNBA, nobody does a better job when it comes to hometown sports. 12:30 on the AM dial, 1460 on the AM dial. The timesonline.com, from the opening kickoff to the final whistle, they are the only game in town, and I use them as a great resource on my smartphone app every single day. I'm not as smart as Jim Equals, but I'm working on it, folks. Have a great night from the great community that is the home of Larry Bruno. Never forget that. Good night.